Okay, my self-fits need work, I'm not gonna lie. I have really got to practice more on that self-fit, but at least in cursive, I've tried and tried and tried, and it's not looking so hot. But I thought I'd show you guys the second most common self-fit that you'll see in modern Hebrew. This gets used a lot in modern Hebrew, believe it or not. Typically, you won't see these. The other one being mem, which indicates plural forms on a lot of stuff. So, just so you know, you will probably see this a lot more than these two. Not that you won't see all three, but that typically is what you're going to see a lot for certain words. So be prepared for that in newspapers. Yeah, I'm doing this in English, so if my Israeli friends watching, sorry. I hope you're doing okay and everything, and I hope you're doing fine. I don't want you to feel like you have to respond to anything. Obviously, myself, it's still need a lot of work. Now, just to show you guys, as you can see, I'm progressing through this a little quicker than probably your average person would, because I've already been exposed to the platform a lot using software and the internet. So, for me, the handwritten forms are the least common. I'm still progressing, but this is one of the reasons I don't date. You can see my hands started cramping up. So if I tried to write any notes or anything, it would take hours. Even in English, it takes hours, and a lot of times it takes used to getting to my handwriting. And a lot of times, because of my eye problems, I had to double check. But one of the reasons I wanted to learn this, besides wanting to become Jewish, is I'd had some exposure to this a long time ago before I met that Israeli, and it was part of required religious studies in college. We had to take it. That's why I already had some exposure with it. But I didn't want to tell you that I had planned on becoming Jewish a long time ago. So I didn't want to disclose that. And this is not to be a religious video. It's just to kind of explain things a little bit. But one of the reasons I don't date is my hand tends to cramp up. And as you can guess, I had to do these number 2 pencils. Another reason I don't date. I do not use normal utensils. I will use number 2 pencils, not mechanical pencils. Because I have to press hard to make the dark lines for me to see it. So typically, I'll always use number 2 pencils or a magnifying glass or a page magnifier. I keep one in my wallet for menus and stuff like that, but Michelle's books are already large type, so I don't have to do that very much. Just to show you what I'm talking about, I'll pause the video for a second while I turn the... You can see, I can see Michelle's lettering and identify all the letters of the Pei and Fei family, including the self-fits, very easily. So, I know the lettering. I still have difficulty with the Nakud dots for the dots and dashes, so reading out loud, if I were to get by the mitzvah, would be a bit of a problem. Or if you asked me to read you in Hebrew, it's still going to take quite a bit of practice, but not that I'd push for that, but I felt like if you wanted to do things, you could. I'm not sure how accessible the synagogues are in Israel. Ours are here in the United States, but that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, is we have the accessibility, but a lot of times it's what's called just up to code. So not every wheelchair ramp accommodates a manual chair or an electric chair, or vice versa. Sometimes they can be too steep and a manual chair can't get up it as easily versus the other way. And like going to restaurants, I wouldn't be able to walk arm in arm with them. Dancing with me takes a lot of effort and energy. I have to physically transfer in and out of the car, so a lot of times I'll buy cheaper suit pants for sure. I never buy really nice, expensive clothes because I physically have to stand up, pivot, oftentimes lift my entire body to get in and out of the car to pull up. And I can get myself in there, but I buy cheap pants in case they get torn or holes in them and stuff like that, because from the knee up, everything is normal, but I can't stand up without being supported. So a lot of times when I'm shooting a video, the reason you see me on my knees is because literally to get from point A to point B, to not have to use the wheelchair all around my house, I literally walk on my hands and knees to get from point A to point B, and then put my hand on the table and physically push up, and put the other hand in the bottom of a chair and physically push my body up, and so on and so forth. So, but I just wanted you to see my progress. I know this is probably not good as to what you're used to for some of the handwriting samples, but I didn't want to do still shots all the time either. The other thing here, there's a word search. You know, I can find the words. That's real easy. And then Michelle's has some grammar in here, but a lot of it's going to be the vowel system and making the phonetic sounds. So, anyway, for those of you that have been following my Hebrew progress, I'm progressing, but it's still taking a lot of repetition, mostly because of eye problems, but we'll get there. So anyway, I'm shooting this at night. I hope you guys are doing okay. One small note, just in case. On the 1st, I have to get the second dose of the COVID vaccine. Everything's fine. I've had the first dose with my minor arm pain, which was expected. It's no worse than when I get an influenza shot. Other than where they stuck me, I had a little bit of muscle pain there, you know, when I raised my arm. But usually, one of the things my girlfriend would have to put up with is I always get shots in my left side, never on my right side, because my muscles are so tight and so rigid. The pain would be far worse. So everybody always wonders why I always do multiple shots or blood draws and everything all on the same arm, because that left arm I have better dexterity control, and when I go to get injections or I write anything, it's less likely to cramp up. But typically, I'll have to stop handwriting if my hands get stiff, because in some areas, like my feet or my hands, my fingers, and they stay in position too long, they will cramp up more so than normal. I can't write as quickly as some people. So, generally, more often than not, I will type things. But if you ever get something where I sign it, like a letter or something like that, it will be my actual signature. Anyway, that's a wrap. That's just some Hebrew progress in case you guys watch this thing. I don't want to feel like anybody has to. Lahitro, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye. For now, anyway.